مساء الخير, or should I say صباح الخير? Wherever you may be and regardless of time, I hope you are doing well. I would like to welcome all of you to the second lesson of our new series. And today we are going to talk about long vowels. So let's begin by setting our objectives. In this lesson, we are going to explain what long vowels are. Then we will highlight certain conditions that every long vowel should meet. Don't worry, you will understand what I'm talking about shortly after this. So let's begin our lesson by defining long vowels. The Arabic language has three long vowels called Alif, Yaa, and Waaw. And yes, you are familiar with all three of them because they are actual letters, not symbols. These three letters can behave under certain conditions as long vowels. Fear not, these conditions will be discussed along with the definition of long vowels. So, having said that, let's begin. An Arabic long vowel sounds exactly as a short vowel but held longer in pronunciation, more specifically, twice as much. We can define long vowels as letters used to lengthen the sound of the three short vowels فتحة, كسرة, and ضمة. In English, this is usually accomplished by using a double letter just like the words moon or sleep. But the way to accomplish this in Arabic is to add an extension to the short vowels to lengthen their sound, and that extension could be an Alif, a Yaa, or a Waaw. So, the main question here is, if long vowels are letters used as an extension for short vowels, are these extensions added randomly? Well, obviously it's not the case. As we already said, long vowels are letters used as an extension for short vowels. What we didn't mention yet is that each short vowel has a matching letter used to lengthen its sound. Fatha is always associated with Alif. Kasra is always associated with Yaa. And Dhamma is always associated with Waaw. It's a must, and there is no exception. So, when a letter in conjunction with a short vowel is followed by its long vowel equivalent, the sound of this letter should be elongated, from one movement to two movements. Let's take the letter Ba as an example, shall we? To create a long vowel form of Fatha, we add an Alif right after the letter carrying the Fatha. The short sound is Ba, and the long sound is Ba. To create a long vowel form of Kasra, we add a Ya right after the letter carrying the Kasra. The short sound is B, and the long sound is B. To create a long vowel form of Dhamma, we add a Waaw right after the letter carrying Dhamma. The short sound is Bu, and the long sound is boo. If we want to rephrase what we have just said, we would say any letter carrying fatha and followed by the vowel alif should be elongated, like the word kitab. Any letter carrying kasrah and followed by the vowel ya should be elongated, like the word deek. Any letter carrying dhammah and followed by the vowel waaw should be elongated, like the word toot. So far so good, but there is still something missing. And that is what makes the letters Alif, Ya, and Waaw act like vowels instead of being regular consonants. Are there any conditions other than the short vowel and its matching letter? In order to figure out what's missing, let's take a couple of words as examples and see what they have in common. Please notice that we are going to fully vocalize the words used as examples in order to be able to explain the conditions of long vowels. So, don't worry if the diacritic used at the end of the words looks unfamiliar. It is called Tanween or double vowel. We are aware that we didn't study all the diacritics yet, but all we want you to do is to listen carefully to the pronunciation and just focus on the presence or the absence of these diacritics above each letter. Let's now read the words. For fatha and its matching long vowels, we have Baboon, Kitabun. For kasra and its matching long vowel, we have Rishatun, Dikun. And for dhamma and its matching long vowel, the words are Thumun, Tutun. Let's begin with the first couple. Babun, Kitabun. As we have mentioned previously, any letter which has fatha on it and that it is joined to an alif should be elongated, which is the case here. For the first word, Babun, we have the letter ba in conjunction with the fatha and joined to an alif, so it should be elongated. Listen carefully, please. Babun. The same goes for the second word, Kitabun. We have the letter ta in conjunction with the fatha and joined to an alif, so it should be elongated. Kitabun. But in order to ensure that this alif is a long vowel, it should meet two other conditions. Let's discuss them one by one. So, alif is a long vowel when it is following its matching short vowel fatha. We already talked about this. What we didn't mention yet is that alif should not be a chair for hamza in order to be a vowel, obviously. For some of you, this condition is obvious since we already talked about this in previous lessons. But for those who are new, it's not. That's why we have decided to highlight it in order to avoid confusion. Here we have an example. We have the verb to ask written in Arabic. We do say سأل. One more time. سأل. And as you can hear, there is no elongation even though we have the letter sin carrying a fatha and followed by alif. The reason behind that is, since Hamza is using alif as a chair, alif is no longer a vowel but a consonant. So be careful. Alif is a long vowel only when it is not a chair for Hamza. Let's now finish this lesson with the last condition. To figure out our last condition, let's pay close attention to the letter Alif, please. As we already said, these words are fully vocalized. So, why there is no diacritic on top of the letter Alif? Well, simply because when Alif is acting as a long vowel, it does not carry any kind of diacritic. As you can see here, there is an empty set, and that will always be the case. Whenever Alif is acting as a long vowel, nothing will be written on top of it. That's it. See how simple these three conditions are? Let's now end this lesson by recapitulating all three of them. As you can see here, these are our words. I want you to look at them carefully while listening. In both of these words, Alif is following its matching short vowel fatha. That's number one. Number two, it is not a chair for Hamza, as you can see. And number three, there is nothing written on top of the Alif, so it should be a long vowel. And there you have it. Now you can easily recognize our first long vowel, Alif. هذا كل شيء اليوم. We still have two long vowels to analyze in our next lesson, in addition to some exercises as usual. So stay tuned for our final lesson of this series. شكرا على حسن استماعكم وإلى اللقاء.